So gonna run through the market for this week. Obviously, it's not closed yet, but literally in like an hour it will be. And I can assure you that nothing within the last hour of the market being open on Friday, anything's gonna happen. So we had quite the interesting week in regards to news and price action. Obviously, we could see we're kind of missing a New York session here on Thursday. Well, it was because Jimmy Carter died. So he was like the third president ever or something. I don't know. And he died, so they shut the market down for his funeral. So that was interesting. Never seen that before, but I haven't been trading for that long. So on the daily, or actually, you might as well start on the weekly. So weekly, we are about to close bearish for the second week in a row. So not surprising. I don't really judge anything off the weekly, anyways. I don't take any trades or anything off of it, so that doesn't really apply to me. Daily can be pretty interesting. Daily, we did sweep out a ton of a couple low resistance liquidity here. These daily lows in particular were definitely the ones I was looking at the most that got swept out today. We did have an initial reaction up, which I was surprised. I did not take a trade today, but that's pretty much what we had on there. 4 hour, more or less the same story. We had a huge sell off on Tuesday, however. Sell out Tuesday was huge. We swept out London session highs. I remember we had a break of structure on the downside. We retraced back up into a fair value gap and got a closure below and fell off of the map. So that was pretty interesting. Other than that, mostly bearish for this week for sure. Uh, Hourly says more or less the same story. We can definitely see this a little bit more in full here. However, this sell-off we had, and we kind of continued that trend. We had just looking at the hourly here, very choppy price action to say the least. I didn't take a trade Wednesday. There was no liquidity sweep to the downside until uh, like noon. So obviously I'm not trading at noon. Tuesday was honestly the only good trading day. Today I had an opportunity to take a trade. I did not take a trade on Tuesday because we had high impact news right in the middle of the day. So we had PMI right at 10 a.m. So didn't take a trade. Was definitely the best looking trade out of everything today. So definitely could have had something there, but chose not to because of news, and I'm not mad about that. Today, or that was Tuesday. Wednesday, again, was really choppy. Didn't even have a Thursday. Literally just not even there on the chart. And today was fairly interesting. Like I said, we swept out daily low, so this wasn't just an hourly low. This was a daily low. We swept that. We got a reaction up, and quite a strong one as well. I thought we were going to continue up the rest of the day after sweeping out those lows. My bias was long today, so it was, somewhat correct. I would have to say we're about to close at right down a percent, but that was only relative to where it opened up here. So interesting day so far. Or pretty much, I mean, I wanted to get this reaction up. We did see it. I wasn't buying it though, just with how bearish it was. And it wasn't a very direct move up. Like it didn't happen right away. I got kind of nervous with, especially with how news looked this morning, when this candle opened. So I wasn't really looking for trades necessarily today. That's kind of like why I chose to sit out. But there was a good opportunity here. We had a liquidity sweep to the downside of daily lows. Once we retrace back into this order block here, uh, we had a complete closure above here, which would have been kind of a little bit of a late entry if you waited until here. Uh, but there were a few fair value gaps here. I mean, if we got complete closure above this fair value gap right here. Oh, okay. Never mind. But yeah, we had a complete closure above that fair value gap right there. Was probably going to wait for market structure shift, which is exactly what we got. We had closure above these. I mean, you could consider these highs too, whatever. It all happened within the same candle, anyways. So this would actually been a very good entry. If you entered up on this candle, you would have been like $1 in drawdown, $2 in drawdown, and definitely easily could have targeted these highs right here. So that would have been a fairly good trade, targeting these highs. It was pretty straightforward to that take profit area, except for this little chop area. But yeah, like I said, interesting week just with news. Uh, we had a bunch of high impact news days yesterday. I mean, you could have technically considered yesterday with there literally being no market open, so that wasn't planned, obviously, but that just happened. And then obviously today we had NFP and unemployment. So a lot of news today, this week in general. Next week, trying to skip to it. Nothing really Monday. We have PPI Tuesday. I mean CPI Wednesday. Retail sales Thursday. Okay, so we have two pretty good days next week. Probably gonna trade on PPI. Not gonna trade on CPI. Gonna see how unemployment looks. Friday looks good. So really Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday's a no. Thursday is questionable. Friday's good. So we got three for sure trading days that are going to be looking good next week in regards to news. That's obviously not in regards to price action, but once this market closes, we'll mark out our areas. Definitely a really clean order block right here. Uh, where is it? Yeah, really clean order block. This is technically the low here, and obviously a really clean hourly order block. So gonna keep my eye on this. Whoopsies. For next week. Probably could drop down to the 30 minute and get a little bit. Yep, there we go. Uh, yeah, gonna be looking at this for sure next week once we have market open. But until then, that's it. So no trades this week at all. Was really stingy, but that was good because there were a couple days that were really bad. So had two opportunities to take trades. One was because of news. The other one was both because of news. So that's pretty much it. So that is the recap for the week.